Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make your own welcome sign. And here's what you will need. So you would need whatever color stainer you would like, a stick to stir it. I have some gloves on this piece of paper that you can barely see, a 6x12 board, scissors, and a piece of rag or a shirt that you don't mind throwing away afterwards. So here I got classic gray, and this is an up close of the can so you can see it. And I'm going to pull my gloves off here, and you can see them better. Yeah, they were the same color as the paper. And then I'm going to take this shirt and just cut it in half, because this is what I'm going to use to dip with. And I'm just going to stir this up because anytime you get paint or primer, you need to stir it. Just slowly stir it. So now I am putting my gloves on. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I do not want to get my nails messed up. Oops. And I'm going to take a piece of this shirt and I'm going to dip it in the primer. Let it soak up some of it. That's a really pretty color. And I kind of lost control right here. I was like, wait, let me get some type of formation going. And you're just going to start from the top of the wood and work your way down the wood. I really thought this color would have been darker, but I did realize the can did say semi-transparent, and that's not really what I was going for. I was going for more of a solid color, so I probably should have used paint instead of, or stainer. All right, so after I'm seeing how this is turning out, I'm not too happy with the color. So I'm going to stir it a little bit more and then try to figure out what I can do. I do have a paintbrush, so I'm going to try that. All right, so I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm just going to stroke the board. And I'm actually liking this color, like the way it's coming out. That's the gray I was going for, not the transparent. So I'm just going to take the stainer and do it all up and down the board, as you can see here. Okay, so per the instructions, you're supposed to let it sit for 30 minutes and then wipe it off. I'm using the same towel that I was using, the same shirt that I was using earlier. And this board literally started to sweat, so I was kind of worried. So I just started wiping it off. Now you can do this as many times as you want, just to get it as dark as you want. However, you have to let it dry in between coats, or it will take forever if you just put coat on top of coat on top of coat. So I learned the hard way, and this took about 3 days to dry. This is what the board looked like completely dry. I'm still not sure of the color, but I'm just going to go ahead and put the letters on and just hope it turns out cute. So y'all would not believe that when I thought I was recording the letters, turns out that my phone had died and I was not. So I'm going to try to find a way to show you guys how to get the letters on using a flower that I have extra of. So the letters are already on and there's no way I can pull them off and redo them. So I'm just going to use a flower that I have that could go on the board, but I don't think I want to use it on this board. So I'm going to use that to show you guys how to put the letters on the board. So here's the flower. You can barely see it. It is white. I got these letters and this flower from my homegirl Keisha over at Adorn You. She makes the cutest clothing and boards, and she made these letters for me so I can put them on my board. So these are the flowers, and I'm going to show you how to transfer them to the board. So you're going to need contact paper, your outline, some scissors, and a credit card or something to rub the contact paper onto the stencil. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you know where you want to place your stencil. This could go at the bottom of this board, but I just don't feel like it's necessary, so that's why I'm not going to use it. Then I'm going to take my contact paper and peel off the grid side of the paper. Now this grid is so helpful because it also helps me line up my letters, and the letters I did them 2 inches apart from each other and 3 inches from the edge of the board. So I'm just going to lay this on top like so, and then I'm going to place it on top of another piece of paper just so I can have something to work with. And I'm going to take my credit card and just rub to make sure that this stencil is really stuck on this contact paper, because what we're going to do next is pull the contact paper from the stencil, and you want the stencil to be attached to the contact paper. And you want to gently, very gently find an edge and pull the 2 pieces of paper apart. And see, it is stuck on the contact paper just like that. So now you want to lay it on the board, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to use this piece of paper, and I'm not sure if this is going to work right because this is the paper that I got it from, but I just want to show you guys how to transfer it. So you're literally going to do the same thing. You're going to place the contact paper with the stencil attached onto the piece of wood that in the position that you want it to stick. And you're going to make sure that it is really on there good. And you are just going to peel the contact paper away gently so that you don't tear the stencil. So I did this. I was moving a little bit fast, so it did not stick as good as it needed to stick. And if you find that it is not sticking, just place the contact paper back down and continue to rub with your credit card just to make sure that it lifts off. But I knew that it probably wouldn't because this is the same piece of paper that it came off of, and technically it's not sticky anymore, so it won't hold the stencil, but your piece of wood will. So I'm trying to do this very gently and trying not to tear the stencil, but it is very thin. And the stems of the flowers are very fragile, so I'm just taking my time, and this is what it looks like. And there you have it. That's how it will look on your board. So I want to add a little embellishment to my O, and I'm going to use some leftover, what is this called? Leftover tool that I had from my previous video. You guys should go and check that out. The link is down in the description below. And I'm just going to make the same little bundles that I made in that video. And then I'm going to attach the ribbons to it. So now I think I have it the way I want. I'm just going to play with it and see how I want it to look. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to make sure my ribbon is straight, and I'm going to attach it with a pipe cleaner. And I'm just going to wrap the pipe cleaner around probably 2 times and leave the extra hanging out the back so that I can attach it to the board. Now I'm just taking a thumbtack and I'm just going to put it at the top of the O, because this is what I'm going to attach the rest of the pipe cleaner to it to hold my bow and my ribbon. So I'm literally just taking the end of the pipe cleaner and I'm going to wrap it around the thumbtack that is sticking out from the board. So I'm not going to stick the thumbtack all the way in. I'm just going to leave it out just a little bit so that it can have a little space in between the thumbtack and the board where my pipe cleaner will fit perfectly. And the reason I'm not going to put the thumbtack all the way in is because I want to be able to change out the decorations with the season or as I see fit. So I know Christmas, I'm not going to have the same colors. So I can just unwrap the pipe cleaner and literally just take it off and put another either piece of ribbon or holiday decoration or whatever I'm going to use, or you can just leave it blank and not put anything. So I'm just going to straighten my bow up and make sure it is the way I like it. And I am done. And this is the finished product. And I used the same bow and ribbon as I did for this wreath that is in my previous video. So you guys can go and check that out. And I hope you guys enjoyed it.